Hey, I'm John Greaves III, and it is a pleasure, a sincere pleasure for me to be able to go on another virtual home gym tour. You guys know that I absolutely love looking at home gyms. You can see from my shirt, I believe that a home gym is the best gym in town. So if you own a home gym, it's the best gym in town, and I want to see it and show it to all of our viewers. So today we've got one of our newer followers on Instagram. It's Nicole and also her husband, Brandon. Thank you so much for inviting us into your home.
Problem. Cool.
Nicole is a powerlifter. You compete in the CP unit, Canadian Powerlifting Union, right?
That's right. Yeah.
All right. You said that you may be kind of venturing out, testing the waters in another federation. So that's going to be really exciting. And I want people to follow you so they can see all of that. So we're going to go ahead and make sure we give all the social media information. And then you guys definitely want to follow Brandon because my man lost a whole person, 100 pounds. And so you guys definitely want to follow that. But you guys have made a transition from training in a public gym to a home gym space. And so I cannot wait to check it out. So go ahead, let's get a tour of this home gym. Hey, I don't want you to just watch this video. I need you to like, subscribe, and if you're already a subscriber, I want you to join our channel for 99 cents a month so you can help us improve YouTube for the home gym community. Okay, back to the video. All right, let's go. I want to see it.
Okay. So what do you want to start with? Start with my favorite thing.
Brandon is tech support and helping set up everything. He's the the husband in that sense. So this is my favorite piece and one of the newest additions. This is the squat rack. Got this from Bells of Steel. We used to have like a half rack, but as you go heavier and heavier weight, and obviously we have 4 kids. So usually when I'm training, he's watching the kids. When he's training, I'm watching the kids. So I don't always have a spotter. So I feel a lot safer squatting in the squat rack because it's got the safeties just in case I fail, but I'm trying not to fail. So that's the squat rack. Then over here we have the leg press. Actually picked this up from a friend that just wasn't using it, so we kind of donated this to us. So this is really cool. For hypertrophy. So we've got a leg press.
Wow, it's a leg press, hack squat.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's a great tool. It's probably one of the staples in my workouts.
Yeah.
I absolutely do it. Yeah.
So let's talk about, is that a Bells of Steel product as well?
This is a Northern Lights product. It's
okay.
It's a Canadian made brand. It's made in Canada.
Yeah, I have a Northern Lights leg extension leg curl in my gym. You guys probably can't see it. Oh, it's over my shoulder, but I have a leg extension. So yeah, they're a solid brand. Been around for a while. Okay, so this is a combo hack squat and leg extension.
Leg press.
And leg press. I'm sorry, leg extension. That's hilarious. Leg and leg press. Okay.
Yeah. So that's that one. This is our salt bike.
It's our air bike.
Okay.
I found this piece prior to when everybody was offering air bikes. This is a European brand.
Okay.
It's a full commercial piece. It's very hard to find in North America, but it works amazing and we love it.
Yeah.
I broke my foot during a trail race when I used to do a lot of running a couple of years ago. I broke my foot.
Oh, wow.
And then I was like, because I'm a gym addict, I'm like, I gotta train, I gotta do something, especially, and I was running, I didn't want to lose my cardio. So Brandon, like, get an air bike so you can do, so I'm like, okay, sure. So we bought this and added it. But now it's coming in handy too, even with the powerlifting, because I use it for conditioning and so it does get a lot of use to bring.
Yeah, that's what they call the devil. I think the CrossFitters call that the devil's tricycle. So yeah.
That's an accurate description for sure.
I remember those bikes before they called them like the assault bike. That was like, this just, you just use if you were like wrestling, or I used to fight. So you'd have to get on that, and your coach, you just be like, man, your coach has no compassion. He just has you on there and you're sweating half your body weight away. So yeah, shout out to you or I don't even know what to say, 'cause you seem to enjoy it. So there's something wrong with you, but.
No, I do not enjoy this. I do not enjoy the I'll use it, but it's like one of those love-hate relationships, because it definitely helps with conditioning, and you don't need to do much on it. Like, you can burn 15 calories on this thing in like, 40 seconds. It doesn't take much, but it's a killer, but it's great. So then we got our dumbbells, some more dumbbells here. Obviously Brandon uses the heavy stuff at the top. I don't really touch that.
Not yet. Hold on now, because you the mom who lifts, so not yet. All right. Why did you guys choose to go with the combinations that you did? I know some people like the Pro Style. Some people, I personally prefer the hex head. Was it just basically what's available, or did you guys have a specific reason for choosing Pro Style for some of the dumbbells. I know some people like it because the hex head can kind of take up a little bit more room in terms of the angle of your hand spaced into your shoulder. But why did you guys pick those?
So to be honest with you, John, I had a full gym prior to building this gym, and I sold all my Pro Style stuff when I moved out, and I wanted to replace them, but they were really expensive at the moment to repurchase them all brand new. So I found a nice set used down the street, picked them up, and then replaced the ones that I didn't have with the hexagon ones. That's the best way to put it.
Gotcha.
But honestly, weight is weight. I'm more comfortable with the Pro Style. I just find it a little bit smaller, especially when you get to the 90s, the hundreds, and the hex could be really large. And
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's like if you're doing like a set of Arnold presses with the competition, I always want to say competition, with the Pro Style, it's going to give you a little bit more space, near your head, than if you were using a hex dumbbell, especially with the rubber coating on the hex dumbbells. But yeah, okay.
The handles also have a big factor too. The hexagon dumbbells have.
Can you go in and show us the handles?
Yeah, of course. We'll go to these ones here. So these handles are a lot thicker.
Okay, yeah.
In diameter, and they kind of go from a narrow to a thick to a narrow, where all the Pro Styles are one diameter, and it's usually about an inch apart, or inch thickness is the same as a barbell.
Right.
They feel just a lot more comfortable in the hand if you're used to training with a barbell.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Okay. All right, Nicole. I'm sorry I nerded out on dumbbells for a second, but go ahead and show me the rest of the tour.
I don't know. I find the hex ones easier for me because the pro ones, they roll, and that does. I like the fact that these ones.
Good point. That's a good point. Yeah.
The rolling and noise.
So as we move along, right on the wall, we have this sissy squat. It's a foldable sissy squat.
Nice.
The reason we purchased this is because it is foldable and it's easy to put up on the wall and save some space. It also works as a hyperextension. It's not the greatest for heavier people for hyperextension, but it is not a bad tool to add to your gym. It's very inexpensive. You can find it on Amazon.
What'd you say, Nicole?
We got this one on Amazon.
Amazon? Okay. Nah, solid. All right. That's a TRX right there next to it. Is that right?
The TRX, yeah.
Yes.
We use the TRX regularly. It's a great tool for body weight exercise. I don't know what else other way to put it.
I like it because it's so portable. Because you can take it with you on the road, in the hotel room. You can go outside. If it's a nice day, go outside and do a little bit of especially like good for finishers for like a chest workout or something like that. So yeah, I like the TRX. Okay, what else you got?
So at the bottom we have our plates. We got bumper plates, regular steel plates, and regular rubber plates. We started with the regular rubber plates and then upgraded to bumper plates, and Nicole is in love with steel, so we had to add some steel 45s in there as well. Of course. Come from either Northern Lights or Bells of Steel.
So Nicole, because you compete in powerlifting, do you plan to add any kilo plates?
You know what? When I switched to powerlifting, it was like right before COVID happened, and then so if COVID didn't happen, I probably would have gotten kilo plates. But because it's so expensive now, we just decided, let's just start getting the cast. What is it? Cast iron?
They're actually those ones are not cast irons. They're actually calibrated plates. Believe it or not, they're.
Oh, really?
No, they are.
Those are calibrated. Oh wow.
Those are calibrated to 0.003. Bells of Steel has two options. So you could get the cheaper option where they're off. They could be off, or you could get they're not calibrated to Uvanko style plates, but they're going to give you pretty much very dead on the weight. They're made a little bit stronger, and they're pretty good plates. I can't complain about those plates. I love them.
Yeah.
Nice.
Kilo plates get really, really pricey with the competition plates. But then I figured the advantage is more on the bar. Not that I'm not strong yet, but the problem with the bumper plates, sort of running out of bar space.
Definitely.
To the power bar. So, it's like, okay, eventually if I plan on hitting the 400-pound and up deadlift, I need to start getting some thinner.
Definitely.
Also for the leg press, the other problem with the sleeves on the leg press aren't very long, and it could barely fit 245.
Well,
yeah,
you could fit more, but
you can fit more. I mean, you can fit way more with these
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing with bumper plates. I mean, yeah, they look great, but I think actually if you have too many bumper plates, you're actually going to psychologically limit yourself potentially because the plates are so big that as you're putting them on the bar, especially when, you know, this is mostly something for newer lifters, but you're starting out, you're putting these big plates, it can be intimidating. It can encourage you, but then it's like, it can also intimidate you. So I only use like bumper plates for, if I want to stop the bar from rolling. Like if I don't have a level surface, I'll put maybe one bumper plate on first, and then it's going to be all iron plates after that. But like you said, I mean, if you're going to have a lot of weight on there, or if I'm doing something in the driveway and I want to be able to just drop the weight, then bumpers are the way to go. But yeah, I agree completely with what you said, Nicole. It's like, it's going to eventually you start stacking the plates on there. I don't know how you would do 500 pounds with bumpers.
Those YouTube videos, people put like resistance bands and everything to hold it in place.
Yeah, it's just like, seriously, you know? So, I mean, I guess if you had a squat bar because it has a longer sleeve, then maybe you could do something like that. But now you got to buy a squat bar. And I'm just like, let's just go with, you know, you guys seem to have a solid product. I was not aware that Northern Lights, I'm sorry, Bells of Steel. You said Bells of Steel had the Calibrated. I wasn't aware of that. So, yeah, nice. Okay, what else you got?
A lot of nice stuff. So then, actually, you should show we have a deadlift platform.
Of course.
So before that, the other reason why we used to have bumper plates, obviously, because we were, you know, deadlifting on the floor. You don't want to crack since you're outside or on the floor. But then when I started powerlifting and started lifting from home and with the gym, then we built the deadlift platform. So at least that also helps absorb, you know, some of the noise and the shock with the iron plates.
Now, your platform looks like it. Your rack is on top of the platform as well, right? So the platform is the entire lifting area.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Like we originally had before we had this rack, we had just this 3.5 racks over here. But then when we got the rack, we added just extended the platform.
So did you bolt the rack down?
We recently had to, it kept shifting.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's another advantage of having it on the platform. You can bolt it down. Okay.
Exactly. We didn't want to bolt it to the cement floor, but And then, one thing we didn't show about the rack was the lever arms. These are also free balls of steel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you can do a lot of
Okay. Did that, Brandon? Those lever arms come standard with that rack, or did you guys have to get them as an add-on?
You have to get them as an add-on, but I would honestly recommend lever arms for anybody who has a rack. You can pretty much mimic anything a hammer strength piece, the plate loaded hammer strength pieces in the gyms could do. So you've got a chest press, a shoulder press, you got rows, you could put a belt squat attachment to it. It's just phenomenal. I don't know how else to put it. This is probably one of the tools that I was probably most happy with purchasing this rack. I didn't know that you could do all that stuff until I got the arms.
So since we're talking about the rack, I meant to ask you about this earlier, but you guys have multiple pull-up bar attachments on that rack. So you've got it looks like almost like a Swiss bar attachment. Yeah. Then you've also got, what are those that kind of look a little U-shaped? Would that be for like parallel grip pull-ups?
Those U-shaped attachments are actually what attached to the lever arms for your presses.
Oh, okay.
I stored them up there and I use them for pull-ups.
Okay.
So when you use this handle here, it allows you to get right above the bar without anything touching you. You just pretty much go right in between the bar and you could get really high. If I had a higher ceiling, I would probably do some muscle ups.
Okay.
Have some muscle ups on them.
Okay.
We also have a straight bar attachment that's not up there, but yeah, the pull-up game is pretty good in this gym.
Yes,
have multiple options here.
All right, I'm admiring that. Okay. All right, Nicole, what else you got?
The cable crossover. So this, because we don't have a lat pull down, I use it a lot for the lat pull down, so I'll use the bar attachments to my lat pull down on the floor. But then you can have different attachments, your cable slide, and then it has a lower attachments as well, so it's different angles. These definitely gets a lot of use. Over the years, we've had to replace the cable a few times. Here, I think this is the original, but every once in a while it snaps on just to get a new one from Home Depot. But
okay, so you said that occasionally it like frays and stuff. Is it coated?
This one is not coated. The other ones we had were coated, but they all
Okay.
snap after a while. You put
Yeah.
200 pounds constantly in, they'll snap.
Gotcha. Okay. All
So
right.
as we move around, this is the newest addition to our gym. We have
Very nice.
you wanna talk about it, Nicole?
PhD. So this is one of the things I missed from going to the gym with the boot camp developer. And I
Yeah.
was really want to get one of these things, but we didn't. They're expensive. So I've just been every day, like months, just combing the Facebook Marketplace.
Okay.
And I guess they were moving and they put this up for sale. This is by York. And it's, this pad here is a little bit damaged. They don't even know if there's duct tape on it. I think we got it for like, I think it was like $200 or something. But
All right. So hold on. You just said $200. Is that 200 Canadian or 200 American?
200 Canadian.
See. Okay. All right. That's not bad though. Hey. Okay.
Considering COVID prices, like I don't know how it is in the States, but everything here, gym equipment wise, because our gyms were closed for so long.
Yeah.
The prices just skyrocketed. Like that's why we had to do a lot of additions actually during lockdown, because especially we knew how much things cost before COVID, and to see things like 2, 3, 4 times the price, it was like, oh my God. But yeah, so this one, I think, maybe prior to COVID, we probably could have gotten it a little bit cheaper. But you know what, for all the things that it does, because actually now we have this, I do like my back extensions and all that kind of stuff on this. So I don't really use that Amazon piece that we showed you earlier. It's kind of more obsolete doing this mostly.
And in this corner, we have our kettlebells. I have both classic style and pro. So the bigger kettlebells, as you see here, these are what you call pro. They're all the same diameter. Color codes are usually to just determine what weight you're going to pick up. They start from 8 kilograms and they go up all the way to
That's the ones they use for like kettlebell sport.
Yeah. And I used to compete in kettlebell sport.
Oh,
So,
awesome. Okay. Like you do like long cycle?
I did long cycle. I did biathlon. I did it all.
Nice.
I competed in Detroit a few times and won a few medals here.
Oh, I got a few medals. Ask about me. I'm a legend. All right.
Yeah, that's how we got into the kettlebells. I used to actually train with them quite a bit.
Okay.
And then as we move on, we'll talk about the bars after, because there's quite a bit of bars that we have in this gym that are.
I see that. Yeah.
Really,
we have a come back for a bar segment. Okay.
But up here we have our medicine balls. Nicole's lifting shoes, because she must have like 6 pairs.
Oh, that's natural. Yeah, that's normal. Okay.
Yeah, power lifters have to have more than one.
Of course.
And up top we have my martial arts stuff. I used to train in Muay Thai, and I do use it with my friends and my clients. So I have my gloves, my pads, and that's pretty much where we stored them. As we come down, Nicole's favorite bench. This is her closest to competition bench we own.
It's competition specs, however, that's what it's Amsterdam, obviously. So it's the right height, but so
it's important. Yeah.
Yeah, I competed in, because we used to use the
FID
bench. That's why I started training with my bench, but it's not the right height. So I got this. I just moved to PT. But the problem now that I competed and I actually went on an actual competition bench, I find this one a little bit squishy, and that makes a huge difference for bench, because it's all bench level stability, right? So eventually I want to upgrade this one, but for now it'll do, because it's the right height. The other thing that's very important is that it's got the one leg, because if your standard utility benches will have the 2, and then your feet go away, it's hard to build the arch. So for now,
okay.
So we could talk about the bars a little bit. We'll start over here. So I got a Swiss bar. This is more for our presses. The reason for this bar is because it really helps people that have shoulder injuries. If you're training a pitcher or a quarterback or anybody that involves throwing anything, you want to be able to release tension on the rotator cuff.
Definitely.
I find this bar is just phenomenal for that.
Okay.
And then beside it, we have our 7-foot bar, our regular Olympic bar, 5-foot bar, an easy curl bar. And as we move on,
now those are just like the 7-foot bar. That's just like a beater bar, right? That's not
This
like a
is a
comp.
beater bar. This is not a
Okay,
competition bar.
gotcha.
The
Okay,
competition bar is what Nicole's holding on.
okay,
This is
It's
Bells of Steel though. So this is their, it's not, again, this isn't like a high-tech Elanco or Texas Power Bar, but it is to IPF specs. So
Okay.
it's got the knurling on it, it's got the center knurl, it's got the correct sleeve length and all that, and it's you know, again, Bells of Steel, this was like $2.99 Canadian. I
okay.
mean, so for a power bar with IPF specs, I don't think you can get anything cheaper than this. And
Right.
it's held up well because when I originally started training from home, I was training primarily with the squat bar, which is over here. And I quickly realized that because it's a squat bar, it's got a wider diameter.
Yeah.
And especially for me as a female, very hard to deadlift with this thing.
Okay.
So I had a hard time, and I'm like, I got to buy another bar. And that's when I started doing research, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there actually is a difference with these bars. So you got deadlift bar, you got
Yes,
squat bar.
yeah.
Yeah, so this was originally the bar that we mostly train with to do our squats and deadlifts from home, but then we had to get the Bells of Steel power bar as well.
Yeah.
And beside it, we have this is a safety bar.
safety squat bar.
Safety squat bar.
Again, it's perfect for people that want to mimic a front squat that can't hold the bar up front. It's actually really good for anybody who has a hard time squatting.
Yeah.
Because it's not necessarily the safest way to do a squat, but probably the best.
Should makes the weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and actually, so a lot of people use it just for leg exercises, but Dave Tate with Elite FTS has a video where he showed a bunch of different movements with the safety squat bar that had nothing to do with leg training. And so there, he's got one where basically you it's hard to explain it, but you have your head down and then you nod back up, and it blows up your upper back because you just because of how the weight, like you said, the weight is distributed on that thing. And yeah, I love the safety squat bar. You can do so much with it. The well balanced ones, I mean, you don't even have to have your hands on it if it's a well made one, and you can do so much with it. So I love them. Yeah.
And we have our hex trap bar.
Okay.
Great for deadlifts, rows. If you want to farmer's walks.
Is that one of those you could flip either direction so you could hold it with the handles all the way with the handles up, or you can flip it upside down? And okay, I got you.
Yeah. And behind it, we have a net.
Saw that. I was like, I want to hear about this. Yeah.
I picked up.
That's how you got Nicole. All right.
I picked up golfing throughout COVID, and I really wanted to practice my technique.
Okay.
So I ended up buying a net. I bought some turf and
Okay.
set up in this little tight space a nice little driving range for myself, and I practice and have
Oh,
fun
sweet.
with it. These are sponge golf balls because I've broken some of these mirrors with real golf balls.
Oh boy.
So definitely recommend the sponge ones. But yeah, that's what the net's for.
Okay. So you got a TV in there, and that's something that a lot of people overlook. I think, especially after you've been in a home gym for a long time, sometimes it's tough to be motivated. And so a TV can be an important tool, like to help you, you just put videos on to keep you motivated. But then also you can, like, my daughter and I do Filipino training. So Kali, Eskrima training here in the house. And we're able to do it using the TV that we have in our home gym. So what do you guys primarily like to have on the TV when you're training?
I barely, the only time I turn it on is if the kids are in here with me, and I'll put two of them on, distract them.
Okay.
For me, when I'm doing the powerlifting, I'm focused on that.
Okay.
I have the music on, mostly, I'll let Brandon say what.
Yeah, like Kimberly Walford, my friend Kimberly Walford likes to have she had Muhammad Ali fights. She had Muhammad Ali fights and speeches and stuff like that on while she was lifting. And so it's whatever it takes, man, because like I said, sometimes it's cool. Like, let's say somebody that you're trying to compete against, because you may not see the person in powerlifting is weird because you may not see the person you're competing against at the same competition, right? So as you start moving up, you're like, okay, well, I'm trying to take this record or whatever, they got it. Well, then maybe they did a meet. So now you can watch, if the meet was live stream, you can put the meet on and then you're watching them and that fires you up. Now you want to train, like, okay, yeah, well, I'm gonna beat that. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's such an amazing tool. And I think it's really overlooked. You guys are big fans of mobility work, it looks like. You got some mobility tools down there.
We do. So we got a bunch of foam rollers. You got your traditional foam roller here with ribbons.
Okay.
This is your foam roller.
Yeah.
Pretty big. And this one here is probably my favorite. It's has a vibrator in it. It has 4 different levels. of
Wow, really?
vibratory foam roll. Yeah, it works amazing. As you can hear it, it's just shaking right now.
So that's like the best of both worlds. It's like one of those percussion massagers, but it's also a foam roller too. Nice.
And it's a foam roller. And then as you move on, I have this tool here. So this goes onto the wall with a suction cup, and it allows you to give yourself a deep tissue massage.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It's amazing. It really releases all the tensions in your upper back, your butt, your everywhere, your glutes, your hamstrings, you name it.
Now, where'd you get that one?
Amazon.
Amazon. Okay.
Amazon was the best place for that. It was $69 Canadian, and probably the best $69 I've spent.
Nice. Okay.
What about this thing?
So this was also found on Amazon. It's supposed to stretch your back. This is probably the worst $14 I've spent. And I would never.
It looks like the worst part of a yoga wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have the yoga wheel up here.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, okay.
But this thing,
This is don't purchase it. It's a gimmick, and it's just not worth it.
Yeah, the yoga wheel, not enough powerlifters use. I mean, I know some powerlifters like to use just a PVC pipe, but that yoga wheel is one of the best things for helping your arch.
yes.
As well as just putting you back to normal. You know, after you do a lot of deadlifting and stuff, your back you start having that kyphosis, start walking around like a caveman. That yoga wheel is golden. It's golden.
Then we have one of the massage guns as well. I've had actually several of these, but this is the one we're using today.
Okay.
It's off of Amazon. It was probably $100 now.
Okay.
Yeah, the motor on them goes after a while, so that's why we have a collection.
Gotcha.
I don't know why you keep the ones that die.
It's a trophy case. I beat this one too. All right. So tell me, out of all the things you guys have in your gym, what is the thing that is, Nicole, you already said the rack is your favorite thing, right? Brandon, what is your favorite piece of equipment in the gym?
I gotta say my favorite piece of equipment today is probably the GHD. I love it a lot.
Wow. Okay.
And I didn't want it. It's just large, but I find honestly to attack the glutes, you could do bridges all day long, but this thing just does a number on your glutes.
Heck yeah.
It's really good for your lower back. It's just for your posterior chain. It's a staple if you want to be able to walk around and stand strong, right? It definitely helps you out a lot.
100%.
But if I was to say pick one item from our gym, it would have to be 2. I would say pick the dumbbells on the bench. You definitely could get a lot out of this. But we started with kettlebells. So I say pick the dumbbells on the bench, but when I built this gym, it was an empty garage with a bunch of kettlebells. And they worked. They were actually the tools that helped me lose the 100 pounds a while back.
Nice. Well, I really. Oh, you got more stuff. I'm thinking y'all are done. No. We're not done. Let's go.
On this wall, right on the Canadian flag, we have what you call
arm blaster.
Arm blaster. This thing is great for bodybuilding if you want to really target your muscle, your biceps. It pretty much puts you in a locked position. You could cheat if you want to cheat, but the whole idea is not to cheat, and your arms are stable. Then you curl up and down, and definitely helps your arms. Up here is another massage tool.
Yeah.
So I'm a firm believer of massage tools. This is just a hook, and it goes around your body. You could get into areas that you have real hard time getting into, and you give yourself a nice faster release.
I've actually used one. It didn't have as many not attachments, but it didn't have as many protrusions as that one. But yeah, at first I was like, what's the big, and then I hit the spot. I was like, oh, never mind. Okay, I got you. I see it. Yeah. So yeah, those are really cool.
And then on this wall here, we have the Bells of Steel dip attachment. Okay. So it goes right on the rack. It's very sturdy. It's probably one of the sturdiest ones I've seen. It's heavy. Okay. And you could do dips. If you put it really high and you want to be creative, you could do pull-ups off of it too. But we primarily just use it for dips.
You guys got a lot of stuff hanging on your wall. Where did you get the hooks that you hang? Did you just go like to Home Depot or something like that? Or did you buy them online?
So if you want to save money, all these orange hooks you buy from Amazon, there's a package of like 24 of them for probably the price of 2 hooks at Home Depot.
Nice. Okay. What brand is it?
I would be lying if I made up the name right now. I'm not
Well,
sure.
just see if you guys can find it, and then what we'll do is we'll put the name in the description for the video. That way, anybody who wants to grab them can just go click that. I'll put the link and everything, so people can just go click the link to find if we're able to find it.
Okay. And then these was just, we bought these PCP pipes, galvanized pipes, to actually build shelves with them, and we just never got around building shelves. And I thought, you know what, the diameter is perfect to hold lighter weights on the wall. So found some studs, put them on the wall. You see them around the whole gym, and they usually hold the 5s, the 2.5s, sometimes the fractional plates. They're good.
So did they come with a flange?
I think
You know, the little circular base?
Yeah,
They didn't come with it. I think we had to purchase it separately.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I think the bar came by itself. Then this end piece came. So you got to purchase it, but each bar is going to run you probably like $10. It's not a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, as we move around, we have our leg extension for our bench. It's perfect for hamstring curls and leg extensions. It goes right on the Northern Lights FID bench.
Okay.
And then that's pretty much it. We have some lap pull down bars. This bar here is probably the best triangle bar I've ever used.
And what brand is that?
It's Northern Lights. I'm not even sure if it's Northern Lights, but you find it at Fitness Depot. It doesn't have any branding on it, but I'm guessing it's their home brand.
Okay.
The handle is just thick. It really helps you. The way you hook your fingers around it, I take out the biceps and just use your back.
Okay.
It is a phenomenal piece. I probably use this a lot more than my regular triangle grip.
Okay.
I personally don't use my regular triangle grip anymore. I just use this, but with my clients, I'll switch back and forth.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, we're looking around. I think that's about it.
Oh, of course, gotta have a tripod. Well, what brand of tripod is that? I'm always looking at tripods. What is that?
And Protos is like
Okay. Manfrotto. Okay.
It's a pretty good tripod. I use it for my professional camera. I have a nice Sony DSLR. And
Okay.
that's what I originally purchased it for, but she hijacked it. And
Of course, dude, I got a wife too. That's how it goes.
they hijack everything.
And you can tell when people have been together for a long time, because the longer you're together, the more the wife is like, yeah, by the way, that's mine also, and that's mine also, that's mine. You just didn't know you were buying it from me. I'm just like, okay.
One last thing. So I got this rope. I do have
I was going to ask you about that. You use that? You do a lot of rope training?
Is
that a heavy rope?
I do have the heavy ropes, but they're not in the gym right now. I lent them out, and I just got to get it back. But this rope here, my neighbor gave it to me. He used it for a bungee for his grandkid, and I said, you know what, my 3-year-old would love to climb this thing.
Okay.
So I put it on. I hook it up here, and then he just, believe it or not, this kid is a beast. He climbs that rope. I hold his legs, and he climbs up, touches the top of the rack, and comes right back down. He loves it.
That is gold, because you say he's 3, right?
He's 3, yeah.
Yeah. So are you guys still homeschooling your kids? Not homeschooling, but you know what I mean, like remote learning?
They're back.
They're back to, okay. All right. Because I mean, you think about it like, but Nicole, you work from home, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So like, I could just imagine, my wife works from home as well. And so having anything that will keep the kids occupied and burn a little bit of energy off is pure gold. Parents, especially if you're a new parent, write that down. All right. Yeah, figure out ways to burn it. And also I love that, because that way you don't have to, when you're training, you don't have to kick the kids out.
Yeah.
Instead, you're able to let them be part of the training, so they start loving it too.
Exactly. We try to include them a lot. Like I want them, especially because we got 3 girls and 1 boy. So I wanted, part of it is we want to normalize it for them, because I want them to, especially the girls. I want, it's like my 5-year-old. She wants to. We have like a broom somewhere in here, like this, the broomstick. And she'll back squat with the broomstick, like
awesome.
just getting that form down and getting used to seeing us, like we spend an hour or 2 every day training. So I want them to do that eventually too, right? So
That's
and
awesome.
it starts when they're young, right? Because if you're, that's how you build the habits now. So we try to get them in here. As long as I'm not going super heavy, they're in here with me. If it's something like too crazy, then I try to get like, okay, stay with your dad. But if it's light, I'm like, come and train with mom.
I think there's another benefit too, especially since you're a power lifter. This is something else I'll say is like having the kids come in is actually good for you as far as competitions, because they help you develop the skill of getting back focused quickly when something goes wrong. So, you know, think about it like sometimes maybe the person ahead of you gets misloaded, then the person that's right. So let's say you're in a hole, right? So the person who's actually on the platform is misloaded. The person that's right behind them is wearing knee wraps. So they have to slow things down. You know, they have to give them extra time because, you know, they got to take the knee wraps off. So they said, well, we're going to bump you ahead. And you're like, well, I wasn't ready for that. So having the kids around, and this has happened to me in competition as well. It's like stuff goes wrong, but I'm able to get right back and just focus as soon as I touch the bar, because I'm used to having to say, okay, I'm a dad. Okay, now, hey, hold on a second. Daddy's got to do this. And then I'm focused on the bar, put the bar up. I can go back to talking to you or doing whatever. And I think that is Susie Hartwick Gary actually was the first person that told me that that's such a great skill to have, because you don't always have the luxury of having the long, perfect psych up. Sometimes you just got to go, you know? And I think that kids, I didn't plan it that way, but it worked out. We got 4 boys and a little girl, and it just worked out that way. Like they're a perfect way to learn to focus quickly, no matter what's going on. So Nicole, I know that you're competing in powerlifting. What are your best numbers on the platform?
So I only did one competition so far, and because it was the first competition, I didn't want to go in there and PR. I was like, I didn't want the extra stress, so I didn't cut for it. I didn't want to go in there and PR. I was like, let me just go in there, whatever I lift.
Of course, that's the best thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was in the middle of a hypertrophy block, so I didn't want to, you know, lose any of those gains. I was really focusing on putting on some mass. I'm like, I don't want to cut and lose all the muscle I just put on. So that was 2 weeks ago. The squat was 275 pounds, which wasn't a PR for me, but I didn't really want to go crazy with that. Bench, I hit 176, which was a PR.
Nice.
And deadlift was 347, which was also a PR. But
what weight class are you?
Pardon me?
What weight class are you?
I competed at 76 kgs.
Okay, cool.
Which is probably, which is about, I think it was 167 pounds.
Yeah, but I mean, that's walking around weight. So even if you cut, you have options. You can drop a little bit if you want to or whatever. Okay.
And I was at the bottom of the weight class because I would have been like, literally, it was funny because we were getting ready for weigh-ins. They hadn't eaten yet. They were starving, and I was walking around with a cup of tea because I'm like, there's no way that I'm not.
That's right.
I think I weighed in 162 pounds, but I'm about 5 or 6 pounds over the next weight class. So my goal is to actually grow into the 76 kg class.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm like, you know what, if there's been my first couple of meets, I'm not going there to medal necessarily, but I'm just trying to, you know, gain weight, bulk,
right,
a year now, and then eventually be more competitive at 76 kgs.
It's a solid plan. Well, guys, if you guys want to follow Nicole along this iron journey of hers, how can they follow your training and everything else on Instagram?
On Instagram, I'm at this_mom_lifts.
Awesome. All right. And then Brandon, like I said, Brandon lost 100 pounds. And you said you mentioned several times you have clients that you train. So if somebody wants to reach out to you to find out about training or anything else like that, or just find out about your weight loss journey, how can they get in touch with you?
You can find me at from Instagram at Brandon_FT.
Okay.
And my email address will be there. You can hit me up in a DM, or if you want a personalized message, just send me a message through my email address, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. Yeah, I could definitely help people out with their weight loss journey. I also have my full-time job, I'm a mental health counselor, so I use a bit of both, of the best of the both worlds. So I do a little bit of motivational counseling, some cognitive behavior therapy with my clients to get them back on track with their fitness journey, with their life skills, life goals, whatever it is. And I like to use basically both both exercise and mental health strategies to help people accomplish any goal and become the best version of themselves.
Awesome. I appreciate your time, like I said, and I'll let you get back to work, Nicole. All right. 'Cause I got you playing hooky on your lunch break, so back to work. All right. You guys take it easy.
It's a pleasure.